It's been over a month since the last Sketchy Talks video, so why don't we come back with something juicy? If you were around during the early days of my channel, you'd know that out of all 4 Alicorn princesses, Luna is my favorite. However, if you've been around the fandom long enough and take notice of which characters get more hype than others, hearing someone say that Luna is their favorite princess isn't that surprising. If you do a general fan poll of who's their favorite princess, more often than not, Luna ends up winning. She even has the most popular issue of the micro series by an overwhelming margin. While Luna is my personal favorite, I still have almost as much love for the other princesses. In fact, when I first got into the show in 2012, I had a hard time choosing between the 3 Alicorns that were around at the time. And while Luna did come out on top in the end, it was still pretty close. Because of that, I sometimes look at Luna's popularity and feedback versus that of the other princesses, and I can't help but wonder, do we give Princess Luna too much love? Is she perhaps at least a little bit overrated? Now I know that a few of my fellow Luna fans just burst into rage flames when I said that, but hear me out. When I take a step back and look at how much hype an episode gets just for having Luna in it, compared to an episode featuring one of the other princesses, Luna tends to win out most, if not all of the time. And when I say the other princesses, I'm excluding Twilight because she's one of the main characters, so keep that in mind. I feel that one of the main reasons why Luna is so popular with fans is because she's the only princess that used to be evil. Characters that start out good and turn evil have been used many times in media, and for good reason. It's a formula that works. A character that falls victim to corruption and becomes a villain? Fans eat that up for breakfast. Adding on to that, we get the episode Luna Eclipsed, where a newly reformed Princess Luna tries to adapt to modern society, and thus we get another character type that fans eat up. The outcast that only wants to be accepted by their peers. Luna Eclipsed, in and of itself, is a great episode. It's one of my favorites of season 2 and the entire series, but it also set a precedent for 2 patterns of behavior. 1, how easily Luna is forgiven, and 2, the desire to reform all of the MLP villains. The latter is a topic for another day, so let's focus on the former. Because of Luna's troubled past, folks tend to go a lot easier on her, especially when compared to Princess Celestia. It's always been something that poked me in the back of my head throughout the series, but it really came to my attention in Do Princesses Dream of Magic Sheep, where Luna created a powerful being to punish herself for her past actions, which is fine, I guess, except for the part where said powerful being was capable of devastating both the real world and the dream world if it ever escaped from Luna's head. She put the lives of her subjects at risk, all for the sake of punishing herself for something that everyone has already forgiven her for. Celestia's actions in the Reflections arc of the comics are comparable to Luna's in the aforementioned episode. Both of them take a huge risk for the sake of themselves. Said risk set off a chain of events where other characters have to clean up the mess, and if they fail, both events would result in not 1, but 2 worlds being thrown into chaos. And somehow, Celestia is criticized while Luna is coddled? The Sun Princess tends to come under fire for even breathing wrong, and just like Luna, I think that's partially influenced by the impression the show gives of her in the beginning of the series. While Luna is shown to be a character with a lot of flaws, Celestia, at least initially, is shown to be someone who's damn near perfect. So when we see stories like A Canterlot Wedding, Twilight's Kingdom, and again, Reflections, where she's shown to be not as powerful, smart, or as selfless as we were originally led on to believe, instead of feeling sorry for her, we criticize her. And that's not to say we should never criticize her, or any character. We should be willing to be critical of characters when they make mistakes sometimes, even if they are our favorites, and that's what this all boils down to. It's one thing to love a character, but it's another thing to coddle them and pretend that they can do no wrong. So yeah, Luna was, is, and probably will still be my favorite princess, but admittedly, sometimes she gets a little too much love from both the show and the fans. Hopefully, now that she's gotten more than her fair share of episodes and comics, we'll get to see more of her fellow princesses getting the spotlight. Hopefully. So what do you think of Princess Luna? Do you think she gets too much love sometimes? Do you think she's overrated? Let me know in the comments below or hit me up on social media. And consider supporting me on Patreon or commissioning me for art via PayPal. Until next time, keep it sketchy, folks.